Good evening, wherever you are. My name is William Michael Forbes. I want to welcome you to the Wednesday edition of Shortcuts for Your Soul. And today I have the Divine Collective with me. And they said, it's time to uncomplicate it. I said, what do you mean by uncomplicate it? And they said, there are so many things in this world right now that your governments and your leaders and those that call themselves your caregivers have made your lives unnecessarily uncomplicated. So it's time to uncomplicate it. Our goal today is very simple: to remind you of the elegant simplicity of your life. The elegant simplicity of your life. To uncomplicate it from all of the entrapments that have been imposed upon your mind and your perception that are not only illusionary but are very destructive, not only for you but for the world around you. You have so many different terms and understandings and ideas about what you have been told life is about, what your body is about, what your mind is about. You've been told many things, unnecessarily complicating what is a very simple mechanical process of consciousness. Very simple. It is not complex. You have a body, and your body is a composition of chemicals and information. Your God is going to try and jump in the way here today. Very fascinating. Please understand, your body is a simple mechanism that you can control the chemistry of your own body. You do not need a doctor. You do not need needles. You do not need chemicals outside of your body to learn to be responsible for this sacred temple. It is very simple. We cannot make it any simpler than the idea, whatever you thinketh, so it shall be. But many of you have been given ideas of what to think from others, and so what you thinketh isn't even yours or in alignment with what is the truth about your body or your mind. You have before you a plethora of diseases that are unnatural, but natural in the sense that they can be created out of your mind. You have many different psychological definitions and conditions that are unnecessary. There is an elegant simplicity to what you are, what your mind is, and what your body is. And our goal here today is very simple: to uncomplicate it, to make what you call your life uncomplicated. Stop believing it is complicated. It is very simple. Very, very simple. And so you find yourself trying to find out why you feel a certain way. And you find yourself trying to wonder why you think certain thoughts. And you find yourself trying to look for reasons as to why you think and feel the way you think and feel. And you look into the world and you ask somebody else, why do I feel this way? Why do I think this way? And they will tell you their reasons. They have many books on psychology and theology and philosophy. They have many studies on biology and body, which overcomplicates the simple relationship that you as a soul have with that body and with that mind. Do not forget that this mind and this body are yours. That which you're in, this mind and that body that you're in, is yours. Do not let others complicate it for you. So how do you uncomplicate it? Let us simply state that when you recognize thought is an element of your consciousness that you have choice over, that you can reject or accept any thought or idea, whether it comes from a television or another person. You have the awareness to choose to believe or not to believe anything that comes your way. And what you choose to believe or not believe will affect you accordingly. But it is not complicated. You may say, oh, this thought I choose not to think. This thought that I am no good would not make me feel very well. This thought that I'm somehow ugly, these thoughts do not serve you. You uncomplicate it by letting go of things that do not serve you in your mind. This in turn affects This process of thought in turn affects and creates and generates conditions of chemistry in your body. You have so many things, so many names: AD, ADHD, LMNOPQR. You have so many different conditions that you've created and generated to justify that you have no power to alter your own chemistry. And you have some other authority telling you this is what it is. I know what that is for you because I can see it in your blood. But we know that if you are happy, your blood changes. If you are sad, your blood changes. If you're angry, your blood changes. Your chemistry changes. You do this. You can allow others to do it. You can allow what they say. You can allow what they do to form an idea in your mind that causes a change. And then you unnecessarily complicate your life. It's time to uncomplicate it. So there is a great simplicity, a wondrous simplicity to this understanding that what you think, so it shall be. It cannot be any simpler than this, can it? Can you think of a simpler way? Oh, but some say it's too simple. It can't be that easy, can it? Yes, it can. It was designed to be that easy for you. It was designed that you would be able to live and create in alignment with life, not in contradiction to it, not in competition with it. You were not put here to suffer. You were put here to create consciously, intelligently, deliciously, in relationship and in harmony with life. But you have so many different versions of what you think is true and what you think is not true that you find yourselves in unnecessary confusion and seeking to have that confusion alleviated by something outside of you. But within you, even the act of breathing, such a sacred and simple act, such a sacred and simple act as breathing, it is not complicated. The ability to sit and put your body down and breathe that body. Oh, but my mind is crazy. I cannot stop it. I cannot control my mind. That is because you are lazy and you have not trained your mind. It takes time to train your mind, especially when it has been untrained, especially when you've inherited genetic information, thoughts, and ideas from previous generations over the last 100 years that have made it more complicated, and you've inherited those, and you don't know where these thoughts and feelings come from, and why can't I control them? And it's not because you can't. You have to learn to teach your mind, to teach your body to be simple, quiet, still, peaceful. You can do this. You can do this. You can breathe. I do not care where you are or what you think is wrong with you or what you think is right with you. Wherever you are, if you breathe slow and deep and exhale, that is not complicated. It uncomplicates it. Does it not? Try this. Feel your breath. Feel your breath. You can only have one breath. You only have one breath. You can never have more than one breath at a time. Only one breath. You don't have to worry about the next breath or the one before. Just be in this breath. Let us uncomplicate it for you. Let you uncomplicate it for you. Breathe. That is not complicated. And as you do that, as you deliberately breathe, knowing that this is only one breath, you cannot have more than one breath at a time. Is that not simple? It is very simple, yes? As you breathe, one breath at a time uncomplicates it. And in that one breath at a time, just one breath at a time, comes this other event in your mind called stillness. Because now you are breathing in and you are releasing, and your mind does the same. and you continue that one breath, even with your mind, if it is crazy and loud, if judgment is there and fear is there and doubt is there and shame, it does not matter. If you stay with but the one breath, just stay with the one breath. No matter what your mind thinks or feels, stay with the one breath. Your mind, when you're not so mindful of it, will begin to fall silent. And in that moment where the silence begins to come, many of you find yourself so accustomed to your insanity of your mind that you want to run back to it to see if it is still there. We can assure you, you can have whatever you want in your mind. You can have silence, you can have stillness, you can have noise, you can have terror, you can have wonder, you can have curiosity, you can have anything you choose in your mind. And you may release anything from your mind, but it begins with one breath at a time. It is well documented by your sciences, the effects of breathing on not simply the body itself, but also on the psychology of your mind. For you as awareness, whatever you put your attention on, you give life to. You as a soul are life. You as a soul are life. And whatever you turn your attention to, whether it's your breath or your thoughts, you give life to it. And so something upsets you, and you look at it, and you give life to it. And you get more upset because you're giving more life to it. And you get more upset because you give more. Stop. Let's uncomplicate it. Uncomplicate it. Come to the breath. The one breath. The only breath you can ever have while you're in that body. And in that place where silence begins to grow, in that space of your mind, as you stay with that one breath and the silence begins to emerge, and you say, oh, but there is no silence. I can see all this. Take your attention away from it. Stop giving it your life. You feed anything you give your attention to. You feed love as equally as you may feed fear or desperation or loneliness. Whatever you place your attention on, your life, you are life, you are living, you are a soul, you are an extension of life. And whatever you give your attention to, you give life to. Give life to silence. Give life to love. Give life to joy. Give life to simplicity. Your body is an instrument that you use. Your mind is also designed to be an instrument that you use. Do not let anybody else use your mind for you. Be careful if you're going to take advice or get information from anybody else outside of your mind. Be certain that they are trustworthy. Be certain that they are going to give you thought, idea, and information that simplifies your life, not complicate it. It is time to uncomplicate it. You may simply and easily, when you understand, say to this great, beautiful instrument of creation in the matter of your brain, be still. I love you. 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 Be still. Be still. I love you. Be still. I love you. How many of you do this? That is very simple. Yes? Simply say, be still. I love you. Be still. I love you. Be still. I love you. It is so simple that we have to explain what is simple in so many words, but you have been trained by this world that the more you think you know about things, the more you think you know about things, and yet many of you, the more knowledge and information you acquire about things, the more confused you become. And yet, it is very simple. what you will choose to think, what you will allow your mind to have thought upon, what you will put your attention upon, you will give life to. What are you going to give life to? Give life to silence and see what you hear in the silence other than what you hear in the noise of your ego, your personality, the constructed persona that you've been given by this world. What if you step outside of that, close the door, and just be in silence? What will happen? What will happen to you if you are in this silence? What will happen to you? What is the worst thing that can happen if you give your mind silence? And when the silence becomes your friend and you give it more life, and the thoughts of the old crumble away from you, the walls that ensnare you with illusion crumble around you as silence envelops your consciousness. And you can pause and consider what is really important to you. What is really important. In a catastrophic transformation of this planet, what is really important to you would be very different than what you might think is really important to you right now. If your head were held underwater against your will, what is important to you would not be the money or the trappings or the stuff. Only thing that would be important is what really is, and that is your life, your being, your sacred, wondrous being that came into this form that you sit in right now, that came into this form to delight in the expression of your life in a simple and elegant way, in harmony and union with life, not in opposition to it. And so you try to fight that which opposes you in hopes that you will eliminate the conflict from your life. And you find yourself endlessly trying to put out fires of opposition around you. And it does not work. There seem to be more fires because what you give your attention to, you give life to. You give life to conflict, you will have more conflict. You give life to peace, you will have more peace. We came very simply here to uncomplicate it. And so did you that are hearing these words at this moment. You came here to uncomplicate it, to understand the simplicity of your being, to understand the simplicity of your being. Not many of you realize that you only have one breath. You can never have more than one breath at a time. One breath. You think you have more, but you do not. You have one breath. And your body, this beautiful instrument that you find yourself in, look at it. Look at your hands. Look at your face. Such unique and wondrous extension that allows you to express your being through here into time and space, that allows you to articulate a non-visible reality into a physical dimension of consciousness. What for? What for? Is not that instrument you in a delight? Isn't not wondrous, simple elegance that no man made? There's no doctor nor scientist on your planet that can make a body. Not one. They can provide nutrients and chemicals that will nurture the process of cultivating a body, much the same way as a mother's womb will, but they cannot make a body. Something else does that. The very nature of the consciousness within does this, not the scientist without. remember that the life is within. The question was once asked of this one, well, if someone is made in a artificial manner, does that mean that they do not have a soul? And we said to him, everything that lives has a soul. Everything that has life has soul. It cannot exist without such. Life without soul is lifeless. That is why when the body ceases to function and you leave it, it is lifeless. And so you can find wondrous ways of complicating things, but there's only one way to simplify it. You begin with your breath. So your mind and your body in stillness are not in conflict. And when you restore that stillness to your mind and body, you will begin to understand what is very important to you. That life is important. And what you will do with it. Wonderful. Wow. I'm just having a blast, guys. I don't know about you guys, but their energy is just so beautiful. Good morning. Hello, Drusilla. Hi, Trinity's asking a message of guidance for now for my mom. Thank you. Yes. That thing behind her head, her past, that sliver of bitterness needs to be released. She needs to release that sliver of bitterness from her mind. She needs to uncomplicate it, to let go. Many of you do not understand this concept of letting go, of liberating, of releasing your suffering, to turn your attention away from it, to turn the other cheek from your suffering, from your past, from your memories that do not serve you. This does not mean that you do not benefit from the lessons acquired, but you do not need to hold on to the pain. You do not need to hold on to the bitterness, the anger, the doubt, the shame, the fear. You do not need to hold on to any of this anymore. It is unnecessary. It is unnecessary. Thank you, Trinity. Good morning, Carolyn. Hi, Vanessa. Question is, the pain I'm experiencing in my lower back, that's affecting my leg, part of a soul contract. We would say that that you call a soul contract, in that you continue to nurture and feed that which gives life to your suffering. The unsupportive nature of these thoughts, these memories, these considerations that you try to ignore, but a part of you continues to feed. When you realize the understanding of the term forgiveness, when you can literally turn away from your past suffering, turn your love to your suffering, turn your love to your suffering. You can do this. Turn your love to your suffering, to this place in your lower back. Turn your love there. You have a contract as a soul, as a creator, to affect and alter and change the conditions of matter, time, and space according to your creative desires. And so if you embrace this suffering in your body with the greatest of love and compassion and respect, you will be delightfully surprised at what your life can do. At what your life can do. Be delightfully surprised at what your life can do. Isn't that wondrous? To give your life to that which suffers, to give your love to that which suffers. Is that not wonderful? Is that not delicious? Is that not uncomplicated? Is that not simple? And yet, It hurts so much. How can I possibly love that which hurts me? Try it and see. It is in your body. It is a part of you calling to you, saying, I am in pain. Do not ignore me. How much do I have to be in pain before you will love me? And so do this. Give it love. Restore this. Physician, heal thyself. It is going quite well in Toronto, Lauren. We got a beautiful, incredibly blue, sunshiny day. Had the sunlight cascading in here. We can just sit and bask in the sun right in our living room, which is really nice. So it's a beautiful day here. Vertical Connection is asking, is it true that certain negative emotions have an effect on specific body parts? Absolutely. Absolutely. They're saying absolutely. But these emotions are not there to affect the body parts. The emotions are there because that is where you have placed them in your body. When you have an emotion and you do not believe that you can handle this emotion, you will store it away. Little children do this quite regularly. When their parents are upset with them and the child is overwhelmed by the parents' upset, the child will store the emotion they cannot express, nor comprehend, nor perceive, and they will store it in their body in very localized positions. And then they develop a pattern of storing certain emotions in certain parts of the body. And they need to be shown that they can release that emotion. They do not have to hold on to their anger. They do not have to give it to the world either. They can simply release it. Understanding that the anger of another is theirs, not yours. But children do not know this. They do not know that the parent's anger is not theirs, for they are one with that parent. All children are one with their parents. It is interesting. So yes, emotions are localized in specific places of your body. Remember that. Thank you. Question from Lauren. How do we deal with disturbing things about supposed pastors and elites? Wow. Well, because so many of you have elected to ignore what you know to be right and wrong and deferred the responsibility of your lives to others, you have surrendered your life to them. And as a result, you have been at their mercy rather than your own. And you feel victimized by them, but you do not understand that you gave them the power to do so. Stop believing lies. Those who will tell you the truth will show you how to find it in yourself. Those who aspire to lead you will choose to walk with you, not to pull you where they go, to say to you, what do you believe is right for your mind and your body? You cannot defer the power of your own creativity to others. As long as you choose to do this, you will find yourselves in subjectivity to the will of others. But let us uncomplicate it for you. You have a mind. You have a body. You are a soul. You are independent, unique, distinct individuals that can learn to be the architect of your own thoughts, not simply an open room into which others pour their ideologies into you, but which you can deliberately and intentionally formulate your own comprehension and understanding of what life is. What do you do about those beings? You cease putting money in their pockets. You cease rewarding them for the suffering they do. In a time on your planet, many thousands of years ago, there was a civilization called Mu. It was one of the longest surviving civilizations of this planetary time. And the manifestation politically was that people cooperated in a very different fashion than you see now. There was not leaders and followers that can tell you to go and stick something into your body that you did not ask for. That did not exist then. In Mu, things were very deliberately and meticulously understood by each individual. Each individual was taught from the time of their birthing to understand their own mind, their own body, and the relationship that they have with it. The process of raising children was very different in that they were instructed to comprehend what energy is from the perspective of emotion. That has not existed on your planet for over 50,000 years, this general teaching children that emotion is creative power that you as a soul can generate. And a very different society evolved, and unfortunately, over time, it devolved where the moment you choose to surrender responsibility, the moment you choose to surrender responsibility over your mind and your body to another, you have a problem. If that other is not in alignment with the simple rules of life, as you thinketh, so it shall be, then it just is common sense that thoughts would be that which would produce conditions of emotion or energy that would be beneficial, not destructive. Fear can only give what fear can give. Yes, do not listen to the voice of fear. Listen to the voice of love. Question from Bethany. Any message for me or anyone that is with me? You have a guardian angel with you that, I don't know why, but they're pulling on your left side. Something about turning. They want you to look. There's a direction you've been ignoring. You need to look in that direction. They're saying, look in a new direction from what you know. Look in a new direction from what you know. Wonderful. Oh, thank you for that super chat, Carolyn. Really appreciate it. For those of you that are new to the channel, I just want to say, if you have a question, just write the word question before your question and then your question. So, Sunflower Skies 3939. How does one treat migraines from a spiritual perspective? You're speaking of turning love to suffering. I'm assuming that would help. I do Reiki points and ear massage to help it. This is one facet for you. There are other elements as well. There may be nutritional elements that your body requires. All pain in your body signals a need, a requirement. All pain in your body signals a need and a requirement the body has, whether it is to be alleviated of something or to be provided something. Like your breath, as you breathe in and you breathe out, well, your body needs certain things to come in and to go out to keep it vital and healthy and strong. And so consider drinking larger amounts of water will be very beneficial for you. Consider some of the elements that your body needs. Does it need exercise? Your body likes to play. It is an instrument that likes to be utilized. Question from Rose. Is there a message for me today? Thank you. The words keep coming. Sit atop the world. And what do you mean by that? This place to observe what is going on in her life. We refer specifically to her mind. To sit atop of the world. So they're referring to your mind as the world. To sit atop of the world and observe. What will that do? It gives her the chance to discover detachment, to make the distinction between her thoughts, her memories, her concerns about a future that has not arrived. She must sit at the top of the world. Oh, thank you. I just got. That's a fundamental truth about the going up and sitting on the mountaintop in a cave. It's not about. I just got that. Thank you. About literally sitting on top of your mind. Watch your mind. Sit on top of it. Just observe it. Don't get lost in it. That's the mountaintop. Your awareness is the top of the mountain, spiritually speaking. You don't need to go to a mountain or an ashram or someplace that isn't. Just be in that mountaintop, in that place of peace in your awareness. Observe your mind. Don't be subjective to it anymore. Thank you. That's really great. Thank you for that question. Really appreciate it. Question from Wanjma. Can you please give an example of a simple meditation which can be done with a child who has already developed a condition? Our first suggestion to you is to first release from your own mind your concerns about this child's conditions, to establish a vibration of love in all regards with them, to have them pay attention to you, to have them listen to your instruction, simple instruction, very, very simple. Have them breathe. Teach them first to control their own tempo. Teach them the gentle process of breathing and feeling and breathing and feeling. You can do this, can you not? Can you do this for yourself, to breathe and feel? Can you keep your attention so strong and focused with them until they understand what you are showing them? Or will you get frustrated too quickly because they are not in control of their own mind and body yet, because they need instruction? Gently, slowly, have them breathe gently and feel their breath, to feel what their body does when it breathes. Ask them, how does your body feel when you breathe? How does it feel when you breathe? As they feel the breath, and they begin to describe to you how the body feels breathing, then ask them the question, how does your mind feel when your body is breathing? Then ask them that question. What does the mind feel while the body is breathing? Question from Tanya. I think this will be the last question for the day. I keep getting glimpses of joyful memories. They come spontaneously but drift away quickly. How can I capture these messages or make them clearer? Thank you. I don't know, but your guardian angel's laughing right now. They're saying it's not about capturing what was once before. It's about being in that now, being that joy now. You're being as that joy now, not something you have to recapture. It is your nature. Joy is your nature, dear one. Joy is your nature. Be in your nature. Many of you seek to remember or go back to, or hopefully go forward to, a time that will give you great joy. You imagine wondrous things in the future, or you remember beautiful things from the past, and you wish, oh, I wish that were here now. But it is. You are that here now. You are that here now. Be that joy that you seek. Be that joy that you seek. Be that joy. Be that content. Be that peace. It is what you are naturally anyway. When your mind and your body are gently placed in silence, you will begin to understand that you are living in an uncomplicated consciousness. We came here to help you to uncomplicate it, this mind and this body. But many of you still struggle with hoping to find out there from this person, that person, that they would give you the authority to be free, but you are already free. You do not need authority from anyone to be free. You are already free. You are already free. And you only have one breath in which you can be free. Can you ever have more than one breath? No, never. But in that breath is all eternity. In that breath is all peace. In that breath is all love and all joy, if you choose to give that your life, your attention, your focus. Will you do this? You can. You can do this. You can be free. You do not have to suffer anymore. Suffering is something that you may choose to liberate yourself from with one breath. How much more uncomplicated can it be that a single breath can set you free? But I'm not free enough, somebody says. I'm not free enough. I tried the one breath and I'm not free enough, they say to us. And we say to them, then breathe again. Is that better? Well, a little better. Then breathe again. And breathe again. And breathe again. One breath. One breath. One breath. Until you are free. When your mind and your body are still, you will have succeeded. And your mind and your body are your servants, not your masters. Do not make the world your master. Do not make another your master. You are the master. With one breath. And so we uncomplicate it. And so do you. It is always uncomplicated. Remember that you are the life in the body in which you reside in this dimension. You are the life in the body that resides in this dimension. And whatever you give your attention to, you give life to. If you give attention to your joy, you'll have more joy. If you give attention to your fear, you will have more fear. If you give attention to your anger, you will have more anger. How much simpler can it be? We thank all of you for joining us here today. I want to say, if you have a moment, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell. If you want to know more about the work that we do, when I say we, I mean my guides, my angels, the guardian angels, the other beings that we work with. You go to my website, williammichaelforbes.com, and see the courses and classes we have upcoming in late August that you can join us on. Time to register now. If you want to support this channel, you can do so through PayPal. There's a link on any of my videos, but you can also sign up on my Patreon account, patreon.com/WilliamMichaelForbes, and you can support us there as well. Again, I want to thank everybody for taking the time of your life to come here and join us and be with us. Much love to all of you. Enjoy your breath. Enjoy your one breath today. And I will see you on Friday edition of Shortcuts for Your Soul. Much love, everybody. Bye for now.